Earl, as they say in New Orleans, because the onions is where all the flavors is at. What's up, everyone? My name is Camille. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this episode, we're making a shrimp Creole. This dish originated right here in South Louisiana. It has a mix of French, Spanish, West African, and Caribbean influences in the dish, from the very nice vegetable base to the heavy spices, and of course you can't forget the Gulf shrimp. I hope you enjoy, so let's get right into it. The tomatoes are ready. So my mom was right. She taught me a cool trick to get the tomato skins off. Bring water to a boil, and then you drop the tomatoes in the water. You turn the fire off after it's boiled, drop the tomatoes in the water. I set it in here for 5 minutes, and then the skin should peel right off. Oh my gosh, I've never done this before, and it's hot, so I really should wait till it cools down, but I'm just so excited. That's so cool. Actually, there's one more step that I forgot to tell you. One moment. The first thing you do before you put the tomatoes in the water is you cut an X at the top of it so that you have something to, when it comes out of the boiling water, you could just peel it back easily. Because nobody wants, ouch, that's hot. I'm gonna let this cool down. I'm gonna get back to y'all. I don't want to burn my fingers off. Eating it, which is something that is important, and my mother specifically told me to do. That's the other thing, is like, yes, I know how to cook. Yes, I know how to cook from scratch, but I still be calling my mom to be like, how do you do this? She's like, she's the cookbook. Straight up. Now I'm going to cut up the rest of my seasoning. I have garlic here, some parsley, and some chives. You can also use green onion, but these are chive flowers, but hey, we're gonna try it. Yeah, so let me cook this up. Oh, other seasoning, Trinity seasoning, which is onion, celery, and green pepper, which is the base of mostly all Louisiana based dishes, the Holy Trinity. I usually would cook this fresh and cut up everything, but just for the sake of time, I already had some frozen cut seasoning. So you cannot ever forget that in any dish that you do when you're cooking Louisiana style. Because the onions is where all the flavors is at. The onion is all the flavor. But yeah, anyways, back to the garlic, but so now I'm gonna cut up the parsley. And oof, when I was young, I used to cut up parsley by hand with a knife, just real slow, because also I was born in an analog world. We didn't have all these gadgets. But now I got my trusty food chopper. This thing is the shit. I feel like I can take most foods and I would have a story, like an experience of when I had to prepare it, and I hated doing it. Ooh. Like, I used to hate when my mom would make me cut up like eggplant or avocado, because I hate that shit. You would not find me eating any of that. And I would hate having to touch the avocado. Like, Don't make me touch this shit. It's nasty. The texture is disgusting. I don't understand how y'all eat it. And no, I don't like guacamole. Now I'm cutting up my chives, or you can use green onion. This will be like as maybe the accoutrement. Now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna fire up the stove. We're gonna start cooking. Woo-hoo! Being a sous chef is hard, and the chef. Can't do both. All right, let me turn my fire on. Let's do like medium to high, just to get your pot hot. I still have some water at the bottom of the pan, so let me dry that before I put my Earl in. Earl, as they say in New Orleans. Give me some Earl. Earl, furl, burl. If you know, you know. Okay. So that's somewhat dry enough to where I can put my olive oil in, but not hot enough. Okay, that's good. So I'm just gonna pour the rest of this in there. Okay, got my Earl. So the first thing you want to do is the oil is gonna heat up pretty quickly. I'm gonna lower my fire. Is get your Trinity seasoning. So I'm gonna throw the rest of this in here. Maybe get some more. We'll see. I like measure sometimes when I cook, but I just do what I feel. Okay, that looks like it's enough. That'll work. We're gonna let the seasoning cook. You kind of want to cook it until the onions are translucent. They clear. So give a few minutes and just regulate your fire. Don't turn it up too high. And then when the onions are translucent, we're gonna throw the garlic in. My Trinity seasoning has been cooking for a few minutes, getting translucent. And now I'm gonna add the garlic. Garlic doesn't, you wanna put the garlic in and then add your next ingredient when the garlic is fragrant. So I'm gonna add the garlic. It's gonna cook pretty quickly. Or it's gonna become fragrant pretty quickly. Don't wanna burn it. I have it on the low heat right now. So the next thing I'm gonna do after I add the garlic is actually add some tomato paste, and that's gonna thicken it up. So I'm just gonna throw everything up in there. The rest of it. And this is just gonna be a base and thicken up the sauce that we're gonna make for our shrimp creole. Yes. Do that. I'm considering actually adding a little bit of butter to compensate for the lack of oil that I have. So I actually think I'm gonna do that, but not too much. I just want the bottom of my pot greased a little bit more. So let me do that right quick, just a tiny bit. So now I'm gonna add the main-ish ingredient, which are the tomatoes, to my pot. And yeah, we're gonna let this cook down. So that's some tomatoes down here. And then I'm gonna add like some seasoning like salt, pepper, all that stuff. So I have some pepper that I'm gonna get in here, and then my salt. There it is. Some salt up in here. And then get me some little bit of onion powder. Good. And then some garlic powder. You know, just add a little extra oomph to it. Even though we already got onions and garlic, why not add more? Gotta have some red pepper. Faux show. We got to have bay leaves. Also, a key ingredient in a lot of Creole cooking. You just take some bay leaves and you just put like 2, 3, 4, or 5 of them in there. You just leave it and let it cook with the entirety of the dish. Bay leaves bring out a little to it. And then I'm gonna add some celery seed. Not too much. And then also, oh, I already had bay leaves. Some thyme. Now thyme, you want to really, really be careful because it can overpower if you put too much thyme in your dish. So I just err on the side of caution with thyme. And then I think that's it for now. Ooh, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. So we're gonna let this cook down. I'm gonna put the fire up just to cook it a little bit more and get it, yeah. It's gonna disintegrate all the water from the tomatoes. It's gonna make a nice sauce. So it's gonna be really good. You know what it cooks. Ooh. So I have been cooking this tomato sauce, cooking the tomatoes down, all the onions for quite some time now. I would say about 15 to 20 minutes, just because I use fresh tomatoes. It's gonna take longer to cook than if you were to use already pre-made chopped tomatoes or like a tomato sauce like pre-made. And now I have it cooking on a low heat. I've been kind of regulating my heat. I'm gonna add the parsley, just because I'm gonna do it now because I kind of want the flavor of the parsley to be like on the top of the shrimp Creole. And I'm gonna let this cook down for a little bit more, and then when this is cooked down more, then I'm gonna add the shrimp. Shrimp doesn't take that long to cook, and then maybe like halfway in between when the shrimp is pre-cooked, I'm gonna add the chives in there, and then we're gonna be almost done. But the next thing I'm gonna do is cook some rice. I'm gonna cook some rice the old school way, just in a pot. I don't have a rice cooker, so I gotta do it how I gotta do it. I have my tomato sauce cooking. It's been cooking for a minute, and a shrimp Creole is always eaten over rice. Everyone needs to learn how to cook rice the old school way, because you never know, you might be without a rice cooker. I'm just gonna cook a cup of rice. That's all I really need. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of rice. Generally about a cup of water. But also, you definitely want to clean your rice so you can get as much starch out. So we're gonna cook this. Rice cooks for about 20-25 minutes roughly. About halfway through me cooking the rice while tomato sauce is still gonna be cooking. I have it on a low heat. And then I'm gonna add the best part, the shrimp. By the time the shrimp cook, the rice will be cooked and we're gonna be eating. Okay, my rice has been cooking for about 10 minutes. Got roughly 5 to 10 minutes to go. I'm gonna turn down the heat. But now it is the part we've all been waiting for, to add the shrimp to the shrimp Creole. Let's do it. So my tomato sauce has been cooking for quite some time. As I said earlier, these are fresh tomatoes, so they're gonna take a while to cook. But I have my shrimp, which earlier I already peeled, deveined. You can see my shrimp. I added some seasoning already. Got some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, just a little basic. I had it marinating the whole time that I've been making everything else in the dish, just to get the seasoning set in and all good. And now we're gonna add this. We're gonna add our green onions just so they can cook on top of it. And then by the time the shrimp is cooking, the rice should be good. And then we can eat, finally. So let me add this. Let's do it. Woo! There it all goes. The shrimps, they in there. So I'm gonna mix this around, and you'll know the shrimps are cooked when they turn pink. You don't want to overcook them. So I'm gonna keep it on a low heat for about 10 minutes. Put the cover on, and then they're gonna cook. Whoo! We have come to the tail end. The rice is cooked. The shrimp Creole is cooked. It's smelling delicious and fragrant. So now it's time to see what it tastes like. I'm sure it's gonna be good. Let's see. I just want to thank you all for tuning in to this episode of me making some shrimp Creole, classic Louisiana, I'd say New Orleans urban metropolitan dish that we make all the time. It's something that's gonna last you for a few days if you need a hearty meal. But just everybody remember, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you eating for dinner tonight. And I'm about to go in on my shrimp Creole. See ya.